What is up, YouTube? It's your boy Team Macaroni, and I'm here with Team NeverSpark USA Captain Level 69 Weedle. What is good, Kevin?
What's up, guys? So today we have a very spicy list coming for you. It is what I ran in the Philadelphia Regional this past weekend. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get top 16. I bubbled out, but I was fortunate enough to get 18th, and I thought it was a pretty good achievement at coming in 18th, so that's why we have this profile coming at you. Before we get ahead in the profile, I would like to give a shout out to fellow teammate Lack99. He pretty much gave me the skeleton for this ancient OTK deck. I made a few minor changes to my play style, and we got to where we were today.
Alright, so let's get straight into the deck profile, Kevin. Take us away.
So first things first, like always, I play 4 of the red Demimera eggs. Pretty much when attacking, when this Digimon attacks a player, gain 1000 DP for the turn.
Alright, so Kevin, I see you're not running a 5th egg. Can you please explain that for us? Because I know people like to run that 5th egg just in case the game goes late. Explain why no 5th egg.
So, the reason why I don't play the 5th eggs, I feel like Demimeramon for an ancient OTK deck is probably the best one you want to run. And from my experiences over the past weekend at the event, my matches were done within 12 to 15 minutes. I really didn't need to see more than 2. I think there was one time maybe I got to the 3rd one, so there wasn't really any justification for me playing a 5th egg. I have a pretty standard level 3 lineup coming. First things first, we play 2 of the Bokomon. Bokomon pretty much says on play, reveal the top 5 cards, and I can add a hybrid, a tamer, and or 10 warriors from it. Your turn, if you have a tamer in play, gain 2 memory. Boko was kind of a must in the deck because he was one of the few options I had in order to find my AncientGreymon. I have a few more, but you'll see those cards later on in the deck. So Boko at 2 felt just right. Next, we play 3 of the BT4 Flamemon on play. Reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Add a Digimon with hybrid and /or a red tamer. So essentially, this card occasionally got me 2 hits versus the 1. As I'll go on through the rest, a lot of these rookies kind of just were the bridges to find me the pieces when I was missing. So the next one we have 4 of the Piercer Flamemon inheritable. Pretty much it just says it gives your hybrid and or 10 warrior Piercer and a perfect line. This is the one I always wanted to see. So we play him at a 4 of. And lastly, we play 4 of the BT7 Flamemon. On play, reveal the top 4 cards of your deck. Add 1 card with hybrid, Susano or Takuya. His inheritable, on deletion, you may play Takuya from your hand. We don't have any Takuyas in the deck. Again, these Flamemons were only played to find me my level 4 hybrids or my level 5 hybrids when need be, so that's why we went with those.
So Kevin, I have a question here. So because your deck is so reliant on finding your pieces, why aren't you running a full max of the BT4 Searcher on play and you're running the other one at max? Can you explain that for me?
So the reason is, as I go through the profile, I have a lot of searching options. I went more of like a searcher build, and the reason why I wanted to play the 4 cost or the 4 drop Piercer one for those it's strictly for those situations where, like, if they had a body on board that was like say 13k or something, I wanted to be able to clear the body, clear the checks, just in case something happened where I couldn't end that game that turn. At least I got rid of the threat and I'm taking the checks from it. And it also left into situations where if like they had a blocker and they blocked preemptively, I'm still getting all the checks. So that's why I wanted to see the piercing for 5 more than the one of the search. So pretty much the best level 4 you wanted to see The promo Agunimon, pretty much when attacking, you can digivolve into an AncientGreymon for a memory cost of 2. Then afterwards, you delete it. I never really went that route with it. It kind of was there for a situation where I was bricked between like 5s. I would go into the AncientGrey, do 2 checks or 3 checks with it, and then get another hybrid in hand. But we really played it for the inheritable. The inheritable pretty much says reduce the cost of the AncientGreymon by 2. So instead of paying it for 5, we did it for 3 instead. Next and the final is the 4 of Burning Greymon. Essentially, Burning Greymon says I could digivolve this over a Tamer for 2. Or when digivolving, if I were to digivolve this over a hybrid, I'm deleting something that's 4K or less. So if I went against the Mass Day, I would go easily Flame on Raise, play the Burning, kill the Gato, because it came in very handy for situations like that.
So
And that's it.
So I see you're only running 8 level 4s here, Kevin. Don't you find yourself a little bit in a position where you don't see your level 4s often? Wouldn't you want to run like maybe an Agunimon or something to like facilitate the additional level 4s?
Oh, not at all. Because as you saw with the rookie lineup, with the 7 of the Flamons and the 2 Bokos, as I go on and progress, those are already 9 cards that are searching me any of these rookies or any of these level 4s that need be. Because ultimately, all in all, like I want to see the Goonie over anything. So that's why I felt like I didn't need to run more. And with how slow the format is right now, I had plenty of time to set up. There wasn't really any situations where I kind of felt like I was on crunch time looking for pieces. First, we play 4 of the Metal Greymon Alturus Mode. Pretty much what this card says, when digivolving, if I have a Metal Greymon under it, I can kill something 4K or less. Again, a good answer for Gatomons, Soulmons, anything that's 4K, the XVs, Stingmons, etc. But we played it really for the inheritable. The inheritable says on my turn, but this Digimon has an Omnimon or a Greymon in its name, I gain 2000 DP. So essentially this is like, if I needed to get my Ancient bigger, he's pumping me up 2K with the addition of the 1K from the Demimera. So with just 1 Demimera and 1 Alturus, I'm plus 3K, and he evos over a level 5 for 1. So if there was ever those situations where I needed just like 1 more draw to hopefully find a piece, that 1 evo came in handy a lot over my Aldemon. Next and final, we play 4 of what I think is the best card of the deck, with the exception of the AncientGreymon, and that is the Aldemon. This Digimon says, when one of your Digimon with a Tamer card and its Digivolution card digivolves into a card from your hand, you can reduce this. So pretty much, if I have a Tamer in hand and I go the line like say Burning Greymon over Tamer, I could do this for 1. That situation never came up. That's more of a hybrid variant. We're not going that. Also, when digivolving, if I have a hybrid in its trait, this Digimon gains 4K. That situation also never came up, but it's good to know because when digivolving, if I ever brought it up, this is swinging 12K, maybe 13 if I choose that a player, which could come in handy. But the real reason why we played it is for the your turn inheritable effect. Pretty much says when this Digimon has hybrid or 10 warriors in its trait, your opponent's security options do not activate, and that is huge for what we want to do, and I will break that down later on when we get to the combo part of the section.
All right, Kevin, so let's go into the main piece of this deck, basically the engine that makes this work. Let us have this, Kevin.
All right, will do. And the engine that makes this all happen is AncientGreymon, aka why we call it Ancient OTK. Pretty much what this card says, for each Digimon with Greymon and or hybrid under it, gains Sec +1. So that's why in a raising format, being able to get 5 Digimon, 4 Digimon in a line going into this, all my Digimon are hybrid and or have Greymon in its name. So everything, like gives it the additional sec plus. So that's how you get to the +5, +6, etc., etc. Also, it has an on deletion effect that when deleted, I can play one red level 4 or lower hybrid Digimon from my hand to the field.
All right.
And that is it for the level 4s or level 6s.
All right. And what else are you playing on the top end, Kevin? Let's see it here.
Lastly, just for the little bit of finishing power, we play 3 of the BT5 Blitz Omnimon. What this card says: when Digivolve, gain this, give this Digimon Blitz. Blitz is pretty much a mechanic that says if I were to pass memory over, the Digimon could still commence the attack. When Digivolving, you unsuspend. So after Ancient does the 20-something checks, you unsuspend it with Omni and then blitzing for game. But what a lot of people forget, all turns, this Omnimon has an effect that says if it were to be deleted by card effect that is not battle or DP reduction, I can trash a card from under it, saving the trash the level 6 from under it, saving my Digimon. That came up once or twice, but it was literally just to like give you the final check after Ancient slowing for all the original sec. So at a 1 of, we play Gigastorm. Gigastorm pretty much says delete up to 2 of your opponent's Digimon with 8 DP or less, and security effect is activate this card's main effect. The reason why we played this at a 1 of is a lot of people would play the Atomic Blaster, and Atomic Blaster reads delete Digimon up to the equivalent of 8,000. But I've been in situations where I've played opponents where they would have like 7k blocker, a Lady Devi, etc., just out on board, a Pale out on board without going to that final issue, and them swinging in, hitting the Gigastorm, kills the Pale and kills whatever other Mon they have out. So that was pretty clutch. It's kind of my answer for almost every level 5 in the deck. Next, we played 2 Gravity Crush. Gravity Crush pretty much says gain 2 memory, and at the end of your turn, your opponent gains an additional 2 memory. This is what I would call an extender. It's pretty much if there were ever situations where I needed 2 more memory because my opponent choked me to 1 to go into Ancient, I'd play the Gravity Crush in hand, go into Ancient, swing all the checks, then blitz for game. Or if I needed 2 extra memory, I had a red Tamer in back and no blitz, I would pay the 2, bring out the Burning Gray over the Tamer to do the same thing. So that at 2 I felt was really needed. Next, we play what came out of BT08, which I think is arguably one of the best cards of the set. It is Crimson Blaze. Pretty much Crimson Blaze says for each card your opponent's Digimon, or for your opponent has on their field, for each Digimon, I can reduce the hard play of this by 1. So there were situations where my opponent would have 3 Digimon and I'm playing this for 3, but the effect says delete all your opponent's Digimon with 6k DP or less, and then your opponent cannot play Digimon by effects until the end of their turn. So I'm saying this is stopping the Master bringing out the Lucamon. This is stopping the Dragon Mode bringing out the XV and the Stigmon. This is stopping if there's ever a situation where I have enough memory where I could play this on my turn, raise my Ancient, swing. It's stopping security Digimon. Like there are times where I've had multiple extenders to go up to X amount of memory. I would play this for a cheap amount, and then I would hit something like defeat or gate, and they wouldn't activate because it can't be played. So that was a really good card. It's pretty much a board wipe for X amount, which I think is very nice in this format. And lastly, for the options, I play 4 of the red Membruses. As I stated earlier, and why I justified only playing 3 of the other level 3 searcher is because we play 4 of the Memboost. Red Memboost pretty much says reveal the top 4 cards of your deck and add any red Digimon. So this is grabbing me any of my pieces that I need for my line, my AncientGrey, etc. But what really comes in clutch is this is just like Gravity Crush, which is pretty much another extender where delay effect, I can choose to send this to the trash to gain 2 memory. So all in all, I think there were 6 cards in this deck that gave me 2 memory. So in total, like I had like 10 memory just floating at times if I could get these cards out. Lastly, we're coming to the Tamers. I play 1 Tai Kamiya, memory tamer, pretty basic. If I'm at 1, he sets me to 3. And if for all my red Digimon with 4 more Digivolution sources, Sec +1. This pretty much comes in handy if I have my Ancient line and I don't have the additional burning or the additional Metal Gray to get the 5th check, he would give me the 5th check. So that's why we play him as a 1. Next, we play 1 Hero. Hero's the same thing, a memory tamer. But what's a little different is there were situations where I would have Burning Gray and not Alturus. So if I needed the extra 2k for any reason because I was afraid to run into a 15k, I don't know, like Omnimon or anything, I would tap this and then gain 2000 DP for it. So those are my only 2 red Tamers. And lastly, what I think is pretty spicy, and this is what kind of where Lack99 came in handy, was the 2 of Zoe. So pretty much Zoe says, when I play this card, I can look into my security stack, add any card with hybrid and or 10 warrior. And then what a lot of people didn't realize is once I grabbed one of those, it's not color specific, so I would recover 1 off of it. So the big issue for this deck is once Ancient got into security, there was no way of getting it back. So that's why I would play Zoe, check to see what's in here, seeing how much memory boost is, how many removal I had, or just to fish out the Ancient. I liked it a lot, and that's why we went 2 Zoes. Alright guys, so this is pretty much the ideal combo you would want to see when playing Ancient OTK. Essentially, you want to have enough time to set up this stacking you're raising, having a memory tamer and or boost in hand or on the field. So pretty much you have the Demumera, the Piercing Flamemon, the Aguni that reduces the cost by 2, the Aldamon that is the built-in ADP, and then the Alturus Mode that gives you plus 2k DP. So essentially there are times where your opponent will have to pass, you go to 3 with the hero, then usually ideally you would raise up, say even this will work even if they had a blocker on board. So ideally you would raise up, Digivolve into your AncientGreymon going to 0, you would draw a card off of Evo, and essentially you will swing for security. The Demumera will give you 1k, so you're at 14, and the Alturus will give you 2k, so you're at 16. So right now the only thing that would kill you is Paladin mode. If situations were to occur, if you find out they were playing Paladin mode, you would just have another Metal Greymon, but essentially we're just playing like basic. So right now you're at 16k. As I stated earlier, AncientGreymon gets you Sec +1 for every Greymon and or hybrid. And like as we gone through, everything in the deck is either Greymon or hybrid. So you would swing in 16k for 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 5th check for himself at 16,000. That would pretty much clear your opponent's security. Nothing's killing them, no options are activating. If they get Tamers out, sure, you're ending it. A lot of the times, once people realize you have blocker here, they will not block this, let these checks go through, because mentally they're going to want to block the blitz for game and then get you for the crackback. So there are many situations where, again, I would have either Gravity Crush or Red Memboost in hand, where I would pop this, go to 2, bring out Burning Greymon for the 0, swing for the potential game. Now they have to block the Burning Greymon, with their level 5 or whatever, that would essentially die. And then you would ultimately afterwards play the blitz, restand, and then swing for the 4 for the final check. So this combo essentially will get you game 9 out of 10 times. Like I said, unfortunately, I didn't get my invite. I bubbled, got 18th, but with I did a lot of testing with teammate Ed underscore TCG. He helped get me prepped the day of the event, the day before the event. Again, shout out to Lack, who kind of gave me the skeleton and I modified it to the what I liked. Shout out to NeverSpark. And the deck is fine. I highly recommend it for a lot of people that want to like get some wins with it. It's really cool, very user friendly, and yeah, that's all I got.